My study is on oral tradition of Ramayana in the context of shadow puppetry. Shadow puppetry is eminent in 6 states of India, and they're all based on textual Ramayana versions, but they are all oral in a form. So traditional shadow puppetry in India is found in the states of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Odisha, Kerala, Maharashtra, and Tamil Nadu. The last two states, Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu, it's almost extinct. There's only one group in Tamil Nadu who is actually doing it, which is not from the traditional family. And in Maharashtra also it's a similar situation. I've seen the shows from Andhra, Karnataka, Odisha, and Kerala, and I have interviews and discussions with the puppeteers.
Can you please elaborate a little aside
you just highlight these areas.
Okay.
Don't read the entire paper, so that there is time in also.
Make it bigger.
Can somebody do that? Just in
say oral should become oral. Should become oral.
So stories and narrations in these performances are based on epics like Ramayana and Mahabharata, mainly Ramayana, and they also do stories from Purana, Vedas, and folk tales. So shadow puppetry is one of the earliest form of performing art. It's one of the ancient form. In shadow puppetry, puppets are not visible to the audience. All they can see is a translucent, opaque image of the puppet. And in 3 states, it's black and white. In the other 3 states, it's color. In Odisha, it's black and white, Ravan Chaya. Shadow puppetry utilizes flat cutout puppets in majority of the traditional shadow puppetry art form. Throughout the world, these puppets are made of leather acquired from skins from various animals, deer, goat, sheep. They have intricately carved out perforations which are mainly created as ornamentation. Ramayana is one of the greatest Hindu epics, one of the oldest versions. In Sanskrit, it is written by sage Valmiki about 300 BC. Though there are claims that Ramayana was transmitted orally way before it was penned down by sage Valmiki. Ramayana has a central theme of dharma, and it explores human values through the journey of Lord Rama. The universality of this 3,000-year-old epic makes it appeal everlasting. We'll go to the first state, Andhra Pradesh, where it's called as Tholu Bommalata. The size of the puppets from Andhra are the largest shadow puppets in India that are translucent and colored. Tholu Bommalata is based on Ranganatha Ramayana, said to be written by Gona Buddha Reddy. It is also one of the most famous Telugu versions of Ramayana, which was written between 1300 to 1310 AD. It can be recited in both lyrical style of Valmiki and can be sung like Ramcharitmanas. It is based on the Ramayanas Valmiki with some changes in the incidents and consists of 7 kandas, 7 chapters. While manipulating the puppets, the puppeteer narrates shloka and dialogues. Stories with more dramatic elements are more popular, such as Sundarakanda, Yuddhakanda, Indrajit Vaddha, Lakshmana Morcha, and Kushalava. The oral text is mainly based on Ranganatha Ramayana, but songs from Bhaskara Ramayana, Bola Ramayana, and Kuchikonda Ramayana are also used in the play. To keep the audience engrossed, comic characters like Bangarakka and Kechigadu are also incorporated in the play. We come to the next state, Karnataka, where it's called as Togalu Gombeatta. This particular puppet tradition uses improvised dialogues and prose and passages from Torab Ramayana in Kannada. Improvisations becomes prerequisite as Narahari's work, Torab Ramayana, is mainly flat narration Ramayana consists of 5,100 stanzas in 6 kandas, chapters, and generally follows Valmiki's Ramayana. The narrative style is similar to Yakshagana. They weave stories within stories in the narrative format and improvises as they go along with the text. Come to Ravan Chaya, Odisha. The narrative for the performance are taken from Vichitra Ramayana by Vishwanath Kuntiya, written during 1692 to 1720. Though the lyrics are taken from the Vichitra Ramayana, the play is entirely based on oral tradition. This folk tradition is the one of the simplest shadow puppetry form in India, with no colors and no moving joints. The narration style of Ravan Chaya is based on Kirtan, particularly the style used in Bhagavata Tungi, which is a small hut located in the community where stories from Ramayana and other epics are recited during the evening performance. Additionally, the show used to take up to 7 consecutive nights in accordance to the 7 kandas of the Ramayana. But now they perform a more abridged version which lasts for 3 hours or 4 hours. Now we come to Kerala, Tholpava Kothu. The narrative of Tholpava Kothu is based on Kamban Ramayana, but a more condensed version is used for the performance for creating a dramatic effect. Tholpava Kothu is presented for 7, 14 and 41 days as an offering to goddess Bhadrakali. Lead puppeteer is called Pullavar, which means the knowledgeable one. Unfortunately, this shorter version is not available in entirety, and only a few palm leaves manuscripts are available with the Pullavar. The language of these manuscripts is neither Malayalam nor Tamil and is not spoken in the region of Palakkad and Thrissur and has not yet been deciphered. This manuscript is called as Adupattu, where they have these palm leaves and their ancestors have written down the narration style. The Pullavar sings the prose and explains the meaning through question and answers, building an argument. Kamban Ramayana was written in 12th century by poet Kambar, and performances are performed outside the temple, Bhadrakali temple, as a permanent stage called Kothu Madam, which is specifically constructed for Tholpava Kothu. Kamban Ramayana, also known as Ramavtaram, has 6 kandas and is well-known Tamil literary work. We come to the 5th, Chamadaya Bahulya Parashtra. This shadow puppetry style is based on Valmiki's version, which is also popular in the Konkan region. Similar to the previous tradition discussed earlier, this folk tradition also does not have a written script, and the entire narration is dependent on improvised dialogues and verses. Words used are also colloquial. In particular, songs are taken from the writings of contemporary poets, along with the traditional style. Tamil Nadu, Thol Pamalatam or Thol Pavai Kothu. Similar to Kerala, Pamalatam performances are closely associated with religious and ceremonial proceedings at temple festivals. It is quite similar to Tholpava Kothu in narrative and is also based on Kamban Ramayana. The artist belongs to Mandiga community who migrated to Tamil Nadu and lived a nomadic life. Traditional folk media represents a specific culture and community with the innate intention of expressing cultural identity by conveying collective values and aesthetics. Culture is a collective memory of our past that builds upon perception. Though one culture can't remain untouched by another in an age of globalization, Fred E. Jan redefines culture in today's context as a self-sustainable community which has the potential of producing new members without the help of outside. He further argues that culture is the totality of that group's thought, experiences and patterns of behavior and its concept, values, assumption about life that guides behavior and how those evolve with contact with other cultures. Unquote. Jerez Horsfield has categorized elements of culture in 4 categories: symbol, heroes, rituals and values. A folk art form manifests all these elements depending on the art form in consideration. If we take the example of Thorpava Kottu from Kerala, it has symbols which denotes different meanings. Their stories have heroes, is part of religious rituals, and every time puppet show starts, it proceeds with a ritual and ends with one. It propagates both social and cultural values. In communication, this cultural entity is used in a form of cultural credibility. I'll come to the conclusion. Shadow puppetry adds explanation. Shadow puppeteer adds explanation, dialogue, stories, which is not contained in the text. They are transmitted orally from teacher to student. The interpretation and explanation of the artist are the foundation on which they demonstrate their talent, intellect, and originality. Earlier, each kanda was performed during entire night or consecutive nights. Though in Kerala, this practice still exists under the patronage of local temples, there is a drastic change and intervention of new media is reflective in the shadow show was performed outside the temple premise. Firstly, the shows are truncated to half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, based on requirement. And only the scenes where there is rapid movement, fights, are kept in the shorter version. These new abridged versions are also not accompanied by live narration and are pre-recorded and played back on a cassette or a CD, which further changes its text from oral to written and also eliminates any possibility of improvisation. Though all the 6 states where shadow puppetry is, there is both similarities and differences. One prominent similarity is the invocation of Lord Ganesha, which is an inevitable part of all performances. Oral tradition have a way of communicating and perpetuating sense of urgency and evolved through time. The purity in oral text is sometimes which can't be recreated in written text. I'd like to end my presentation with the short animated piece.